And if I told you that the loved ones you have lost to death are not gone, not suffering in some distant realm, not lost to you forever, but are actually closer to you than they were in life, existing in specific astral planes that I have visited directly in deep meditation states, where I have conversed with departed souls and witnessed the precise process of transition from physical body to astral body to causal body, and ultimately to liberation in God. What if I revealed to you that tonight I can teach you a meditation technique that will enable you to make conscious contact with your departed loved ones, not through mediums or spiritualist chances that often attract lower entities masquerading as your relatives, but through your own elevated consciousness entering the astral realm where they actually reside, and that this contact will bring you certainty that death is not ending but transition, not loss but relocation, not separation but temporary pause in an eternal relationship that will resume in future incarnations. This is not wishful thinking or religious consolation. This is spiritual science based on direct superconscious perception that reveals the exact journey every soul takes after leaving the physical body, the specific planes of existence where souls reside based on their spiritual development, and the laws governing communication between incarnate and discarnate consciousness. I am Paramahansa Yogananda, and throughout my life I have maintained conscious communication with my departed mother, my Guru Sri Yukteswar after his death, and countless other souls who have shed their physical forms, and today I share with you the liberating truth about death and the practical technique to establish contact with those you love who have transitioned to the other side. Before we proceed, activate the frequency of eternal connection by writing in the comments, "Death cannot separate souls united in divine love." This is not hope. It is recognition of the eternal nature of consciousness that transcends all physical limitations, and by declaring this, you prepare your awareness to receive the profound teaching I am about to share. Now pay absolute attention, because what I am about to reveal will dissolve your fear of death and transform your grief into understanding. The devastating reason that billions of people live in torment after losing loved ones to death, consumed by grief that never heals, haunted by questions about where their loved ones went and whether they are suffering, and terrified by religious doctrines threatening eternal hellfire or promising eternal heaven based on arbitrary beliefs held during one brief lifetime, feeling abandoned by God who allowed this cruel separation, and desperately seeking contact through fraudulent mediums who exploit their pain while providing no genuine connection, is because they have been taught the catastrophic lie that death is ending rather than transition, that consciousness is produced by the brain and therefore ceases when the brain stops, and that one brief physical life determines an eternal afterlife in fixed realms of reward or punishment. Listen carefully to the liberating truth I discovered through decades of deep meditation and direct astral travel. Death is simply the soul dropping the physical body like you drop a worn coat. Consciousness continues absolutely unchanged because consciousness was never dependent on the physical body, and your loved ones who have died are living right now in astral worlds that interpenetrate this physical world, worlds of luminous beauty made of subtle vibrations rather than gross matter, where they continue their evolution toward God realization through experiences appropriate to their level of spiritual development. They have not ceased to exist. They have not gone to some distant heaven or hell. They are here in the astral dimension that occupies the same space as your physical world, but at a higher frequency of vibration that your physical senses cannot detect. Exactly as radio waves of different frequencies occupy the same space without interfering with each other, your departed loved ones can see you, hear your prayers and thoughts, feel your love, and they desperately want you to know they are fine. They are continuing their existence. They are being guided by divine intelligence toward their ultimate reunion with God and with you. But the separation you feel is not real separation. It is simply inability to perceive across dimensional boundaries. And this inability can be overcome through the consciousness techniques I am about to teach you. When my beloved mother passed from this world in 1904, I was devastated by grief despite my spiritual training, and I cried out to God demanding to know where she had gone and whether I would ever see her again. In deep meditation following her death, I experienced something that transformed my entire understanding and has guided my teaching ever since. My consciousness expanded beyond my physical body, and I found myself in what I later understood to be the lower astral plane, a realm of soft golden light where recently departed souls reside while adjusting to their new condition. And there I saw my mother, appearing younger and more radiant than she had appeared in her final years of physical life, free from the pain and limitation of her diseased body, surrounded by other souls and spiritual guides who were helping her understand her new state. She recognized me instantly and communicated directly mind to mind, not through spoken words, but through thought transmission that is the natural language of astral beings. She conveyed absolute certainty that she continued to exist, that death had been painless transition like awakening from sleep, that she was being cared for by divine love, and that our connection had not been broken but simply changed form. This direct experience gave me unshakable certainty about the continuity of consciousness beyond death. And I have since visited many departed souls in meditation, including my guru Sri Yukteswar, who appeared to me months after his death to give me advanced spiritual teachings and to demonstrate that highly evolved souls have complete mastery over both physical and astral dimensions. These experiences are not hallucinations or wishful projections. They are direct perception of astral realities that exist as objectively as physical realities, but require developed spiritual faculties to perceive. Now let me explain with absolute precision what happens in the death process and where your loved ones have gone, so you can understand their current condition and know how to establish consciousness. Contact with them. At the moment of death, the soul withdraws its life force from the physical body through a specific process. The life energy concentrates at the medulla oblongata at the base of the skull, then exits through one of several spiritual centers depending on the person's level of consciousness at death. Highly evolved souls who have practiced meditation throughout life exit through the spiritual eye at the point between the eyebrows, passing consciously into higher astral planes. Average souls exit through lower centers and pass into lower astral planes where they must gradually evolve upward. After exiting the physical body, the soul finds itself clothed in its astral body, which is a body of light and energy that looks similar to the physical body, but is made of subtle vibrations rather than gross matter. This astral body is not subject to physical laws. It does not require food or sleep. It does not age or become ill, and it can move instantaneously by thought. The newly departed soul enters the astral world, which has many planes or levels, each vibrating at different frequencies and inhabited by souls of similar development. The lower astral planes are realms where souls with strong material desires and limited spiritual development reside, working out their remaining earthly attachment. The middle astral planes are realms of great beauty, where average souls enjoy experiences of learning, creativity, and gradual spiritual progress. The higher astral planes are realms of tremendous light and bliss, where advanced souls serve as guides and teachers. Your loved ones are in one of these astral planes based on their spiritual development at death, and they remain there for a period determined by their karma and desires, experiencing lessons and purification appropriate to their needs, until they are ready either to reincarnate in a new physical body to continue their evolution on earth, or to graduate to even higher causal planes if they have completed their earthly lessons. Throughout their time in the astral world, they can perceive you when you think of them with love. They respond to your prayers, which reach them as actual vibrations of light, and they send you love and blessings that you may feel as subtle comfort or presence. Now I give you the exact meditation technique that will enable you to make conscious contact with your departed loved ones and receive direct confirmation that they continue to exist and that your connection remains unbroken. This practice has three components that must be applied with faith, purity of motive, and persistence. The first component is the consciousness elevation meditation that raises your vibrational frequency high enough to perceive astral dimensions where your loved ones reside. You cannot contact astral beings while your consciousness remains anchored in physical awareness. You must consciously lift your consciousness beyond body identification into spiritual awareness, and this requires systematic meditation practice. Begin by sitting in a quiet, darkened room where you will not be disturbed, preferably at the same time each night, because consistency creates a powerful connection. Sit with spine straight, close your eyes, and perform 20 minutes of deep breathing combined with concentration at the spiritual eye. Watch your breath flowing naturally while mentally repeating Hong with each inhalation and Saw with each exhalation, which means I am spirit. This practice gradually calms your mind and lifts your consciousness beyond body identification. After 20 minutes, when you feel deep calmness and inner stillness, consciously affirm, I am not this body, I am eternal consciousness, I am not bound by physical limitations. I now transcend the physical dimension and enter the astral realm where my loved ones reside. Hold this awareness with concentration at the spiritual eye, feeling yourself becoming lighter, expanding beyond your body's boundaries, rising into higher vibrations of awareness. You may experience sensations of floating, expanding, or seeing inner light, all signs that your consciousness is elevating toward astral perception. The second component is the love-based invocation, where you call your departed loved one to you through the magnetic power of pure love that operates as actual force in astral dimensions. After achieving the elevated consciousness state through meditation, bring to your heart center the face and presence of your departed loved one. See them clearly in your mind's eye, not as they appeared in sickness or old age, but as they appeared in their prime of life, radiant and healthy. Feel intense love for them, the purest love free from grief or attachment or need, simply pure recognition of soul connection that transcends physical separation. From this state of elevated consciousness and pure love, mentally call to them, my beloved name, I call to you across the dimensions. I know you continue to exist in the astral world. I know death has not separated our souls. I ask you to make your presence known to me. Come close to me now. Let me feel your presence. Send me a sign that you hear me and you are well. Our love connects us eternally, and through this love I reach across the veil to touch your consciousness. I am open to receive whatever communication you wish to send. Then release all mental effort and simply wait in receptive silence, maintaining the elevated consciousness and the feeling of love, but expecting nothing specific, demanding nothing, simply remaining open and receptive like a clear lake reflecting the sky. In this state of receptive openness, your loved one can make contact with you, and you will recognize their presence through specific signs. You may feel a subtle sensation of warmth or tingling. You may perceive their presence as a feeling of nearness, as a feeling. You may receive thoughts or impressions that feel foreign to your own thinking. You may see inner visions or lights. You may smell a fragrance associated with them, or you may simply know with certainty that they are near. Do not expect dramatic phenomena or voices speaking from nowhere. Astral communication is subtle, requiring refined sensitivity to perceive, but it is absolutely real and becomes clearer with practice. The third component is the nighttime communion practice that you perform 60 seconds before sleep in the state of quietude, and this creates an ongoing bridge between your consciousness and your loved one that strengthens over time. Tonight, as you lie in bed ready for sleep, take 10 slow deep breaths and bring yourself to complete physical relaxation and mental calmness. Then place both hands over your heart and silently speak this prayer with intense feeling. Divine Mother, I know my beloved name continues to exist in your astral realms. I accept that death is transition, not ending. I release all grief and fear, knowing that separation is temporary illusion and our souls remain eternally connected in your love. I ask you to watch over Name, to guide them, to let them know I am sending love across the dimensions. I ask you to arrange times when Name can visit my consciousness, appearing in my dreams or in my meditations, giving me the comfort of knowing they are well and our bond continues. I affirm that I will meet Name again, either in this life through astral contact or in future lives through reincarnation, because souls united in divine love can never be truly separated. Tonight as I sleep, let my soul travel in astral planes and let me have conscious or unconscious communion with Name. I surrender this relationship to your divine timing and your perfect love. I am at peace. knowing all is well in your eternal plan. As you speak this prayer, feel absolute trust and surrender, releasing all desperate grasping or painful grief, replacing it with calm certainty that your loved one is fine and your connection continues in divine consciousness. Hold this peace as you drift into sleep, and your subconscious will create subtle connections during sleep that may manifest as vivid dreams where your loved one appears, or simply as a pervading sense of comfort and presence when you wake. Now let me tell you what will happen in the coming days and weeks as you practice these techniques with faith and persistence. The first night after you perform the nighttime communion prayer, you may have unusually vivid dreams, and there is good possibility that your loved one will appear in one of these dreams to let you know they heard your call. Not all dreams of deceased loved ones are genuine contact. Many are simply your subconscious processing grief. But you will recognize genuine contact by certain unmistakable characteristics. The departed person appears healthy and radiant. They communicate important messages, often about not grieving for them. They convey peace and love, and when you wake you feel comforted rather than sad. When you practice the elevation meditation and love invocation repeatedly over several weeks, you will develop increasing sensitivity to astral presence, and you will begin noticing subtle signs of your loved one's nearness in daily life. Perhaps their favorite song plays unexpectedly. Perhaps you smell their perfume or cologne when no physical source exists. Perhaps you find meaningful objects in unusual places. Perhaps you experience sudden strong memories or feelings of their presence. These are not coincidences. They are actual contact being initiated by your loved one, who is thrilled that you are finally open to perceiving their continued existence. As your practice deepens over months, you may have more direct experiences during meditation where you actually perceive your loved one's form in inner vision or receive clear mental communications. And these experiences will give you absolute certainty that consciousness continues beyond death and that love truly is eternal. But I must give you critical understanding so you approach this practice wisely and avoid the dangers that trap many seekers. First, never use Ouija boards, seances, or mediums to contact the dead, because these methods open you to lower astral entities who masquerade as your loved ones while feeding on your emotional energy and potentially attaching to your aura. The technique I teach uses only your own elevated consciousness and divine protection, keeping you safe while enabling genuine contact. Second, release all desperate attachment and grief before attempting contact, because desperate emotional states attract only your own projected thoughts, not genuine spirit communication. Your loved one cannot come close to you when you are vibrating with heavy grief. They can only reach you when you elevate to peace and love. Third, understand that timing of contact is not under your control, but is determined by divine wisdom and your loved one's readiness. Some departed souls contact their living relatives very quickly. Others take longer because they are deeply engaged in their own astral learning and growth. Be patient and trust that contact will occur when the time is right. Fourth, remember that the ultimate goal is not to maintain dependent attachment to astral relationships, but to use the knowledge of continuity to find peace. And then focus your energy on your own spiritual evolution, which alone will reunite you permanently with all souls you love in God consciousness. And I have spent my entire life demonstrating through personal experience and through direct testimony that death is not ending but transition, that our loved ones continue their existence in astral realms, and that communication across dimensions is possible for those who develop their consciousness through meditation and devotion. This knowledge transforms grief into peace, fear into understanding, and painful loss into temporary separation accepted with grace. Your loved ones who have passed are not suffering. They are not lost. They are not judging you or disappointed in you. They are continuing their eternal journey toward God. They are sending you love constantly, and they eagerly await your own transition when you will reunite joyfully in realms beyond physical limitations. But you need not wait for your own death to know they are fine. Through the practices I have given you tonight, you can begin making contact now, receiving the comfort of knowing they continue, and living with certainty that love transcends death, and all souls united in divine love will meet again and again across countless lifetimes until all merge eternally in God. Tonight before sleep, perform the communion prayer with your loved one. Tomorrow begin the meditation practice that will elevate your consciousness to astral sensitivity. Continue these practices with faith and persistence. Write in the comments right now, death cannot separate souls united in divine love. Subscribe to this channel because I will continue teaching the deepest truths about consciousness, death, and eternal life that I brought from the great masters of India to illuminate Western understanding. The knowledge has been given, your loved ones await your contact. Open your consciousness to perceive what has always been true. Death is illusion, consciousness is eternal. Love is the bridge across all dimensions, and you will meet again all those you love in the eternal home, where all souls ultimately gather in God's infinite presence.